Another weekend means more gigs to queue up.
Truck packed tight, every chord, every crate. Another weekend grind, can't be late. School dance, block party, the wedding's underway. But my hands still shake before I press play. Breathe deep in through the doubt. Confidence loading, fade that fear out. Every crowd different, but one thing's true. When the music hits right, the stress fades too. How could be a wicked flash, pressure on my mind. Every eye watching, every move time. But I zone in, confidence climb. Through the speakers, my calm break through. Fear fade out like a soft EQ. All that worry overdue. Anxiety spin out. That's how I do. Yeah, keep on trying me, but I got energy and victory. Yeah, my anxiety don't spin with me no more. When I hit that floor, it walks out the door. Yeah, 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 yeah. T-Vibe, right, my life, I'm in control. I want it, that win, that peace, that vibe, that sound, that mix, that groove. I need it, I want it, that win, that peace, that vibe, that sound, that mix, I feel. This industry spends too much time talking about gear and brand names. So many chasing validation from other DJs, posting for the comments and likes, not for the crowd. I'm not gonna lie, I used to think that way until I realized that mindset only costs anxiety. Keep on trying me, but I got victory, a holy symphony. My anxiety, they left me years ago, rushed off from head to toe. No matter the crowd, wedding, club, or show, the nerves might not, but they can't take control. You can't mute anxiety, but you can turn this volume down. Anxiety can ride shotgun, just don't let it steer you around. Cue it up and let it go. Keep on trying me, but I got victory, a holy symphony. My anxiety done left me years ago, restored from head to toe.
And that's the way we do it. Yeah!
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids, so you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But it's DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikie Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the Hitman D-Dub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the CUEITUP DJ podcast with me, the Hitman D-Dub, and my DJ friend, DJ Mikie Mike. So is that you, DJ MM45?
Oh, is that the troll, man?
No,
I'm
I
troll.
was asking if that was you.
Must be. Yeah, it's me.
Okay, I was like, oh, cool, somebody's here bright and early, and I was like, wait a minute, is that Mikie Mike?
Yeah,
I see
remember
Kevin.
my past-
Yeah, I see Kevin's here. Like
Hello,
to welcome him. And our podcast is a podcast for all DJs of all skill levels to come to connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week was our Halloween special, and we talked about repurposing your lights for the holiday seasons, like using your up lights, wash lights, and mini halos, and then also your fog machine or haze machines to create that ambience. And then we also looked at a bunch of Halloween decorations. A lot of DJs use their lights and then they play music for the trick-or-treaters. And so we saw a whole bunch of houses, and then you have posted
Yeah.
you have posted yours too. I wish you had posted it. No, you couldn't have posted it last week because Thursday was the day before Halloween.
Yep. It was. Our show was Thursday. Halloween was Friday.
Yep. But you had a nice decoration. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
put it up. We'll find it and put it up before the show is over with.
We had about 85 kids come to the house, which was nice. Last year we didn't do it because my wife had a hip surgery, but the year before that we had about 150, and the year before that was over 200 kids.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
you all had a busy time for Halloween, because I think
God, yeah.
I think we
We
had
absolutely. Me
two.
and my wife loved it so much.
Yeah, I think we only had, well, two that was brave enough to come to the door because we had our lights off and they still came. No, I take that back. My wife had turned the lights on, out of habit, and then two of them came.
Hey, you ate the whole supply that night.
Hmm. But I could have gave them rocks and coal like they did Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a nice holiday for the kids, and even some of the real little kids, their older sisters and brothers were bringing them around that were teenagers,
Mhm.
and it was so cold out that night. We told them, don't even sing, don't worry about singing, just grab a bag. Thank you for coming by, and happy Halloween. 'Cause
Okay.
it was cold, easy out that night. Woo woo.
Yep. Oh yeah, I see Will just joined us too. Hey Will,
Hello.
show and tell time for Mike. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was trying to play his theme music towards the end of the show.
No, we're gonna play it early tonight.
But also, on our show we had put together a playlist, and I posted it on Spotify, and the Spotify playlist can also be found on our Facebook page. And so we came up with 30 of our classic Halloween songs. So here are some of the songs we put down. Thriller was like the #1 song.
Yeah.
Monster Mash.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yep.
The Time Warp. Weird
Oh, God,
Science. Adam's Groove by MC Hammer. Spooky Scary Skeletons. The Devil Went Down to Georgia. The Boys Are Back in Town. Witch Doctor. I Put a Spell on You. The original Ghostbusters theme song by Ray Parker Jr. Tubular Bells. I still have yet to play that to hear what that sounds like.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one.
Yep. Bam from Disney's Zombie Show. Calling All the Monsters. Disturbia. The Purple People Eater. Calling All the Monsters. Uma Thurman. Superstition. Don't Fear the Reaper, Dead Man's Party, Zombie by the Cranberries, Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God, Seawolf, Man Eater, Toxic, Cannibal, Murder on the Dance Floor, Somebody's Watching Me, and Ghost. So those are our 30 Halloween songs for 2025. And today's
They're
go
great
ahead.
songs. They're
Yep,
great songs.
timeless.
Yes.
And then today's episode is all about dealing with anxiety and the mindset that brings on anxiety and how we can overcome anxiety so it doesn't affect our event on our end. So it's one of those things I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for the show today. And then when I woke up Monday on the DJ help desk, someone had posted how they get anxiety when they have to do a ceremony and a reception. They said they DJ'd a lot of receptions and they don't really get nervous. It's something about doing the reception, or I should say having that added responsibility, gets their stomach all knotted up.
I think part of that is to, the reception, you're inside the venue, or you might be under the tent, whatever. Ceremony, they could put you anywhere. And the venue may tell the bride and groom, yeah, we have electricity, we have everything here. And then all of a sudden, in the back of your mind, the DJ, you're thinking, do they or don't they? Should I bring a battery backup? Shouldn't I bring a battery backup? So it's like, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I did. I'd rather bring too much and not need it and leave it, or as opposed to leaving it at home and come there and it's not what I thought it was going to be. Especially if I don't do a walkthrough, visit the venue before the event.
Yeah, I mean, you could visit the venue and then the day before the ceremony, before the wedding, they call you and say, "Can you do the ceremony for us?" And then you're like, "Okay, where's the ceremony at?" And they'll say, like, especially around here, like, we have a lot of barn weddings. They'll say it's up in the field. That's when you start thinking, okay, do they have electricity? Yeah, they have electricity. They have this, they have that. I learned the hard way this past year. The one venue, they said they had electricity. The other thing is, it was like a 3 or 4 tier, I don't know what you wanted to call it actually, but the bride and groom were getting married in the middle. And I was all off on this side here, and there's a tree here. So I set up everything there, and the venue manager said, "Oh, no, you have to go back over by the other tree over there," which was 150 feet away. I'm like, oh my God. After I have everything set up, you're telling me this. So I run back to the car, get in 2 extension cords, a 50-footer and a 100-footer, plus I had my other 25-foot plugged in already too. So it's those little things that, it gets you, especially if you've never been to the venue, it gets you really anxious. You start thinking of the worst. You want to prepare, but they always think of the worst. So you always, like you said, you took extra gear with you. Definitely, I always do too.
Yep. And I was trying. Oh, Kevin said he gave out business cards.
And the trick or treat bags, Kev.
They say, who else is here? I see the DJ Troll is in the house.
All right.
So it's official. We officially started. The party didn't start until the troll came into the building. All right, so getting into our topic, let's first set like the ground rules or determine what exactly is anxiety, because that could be different for different people. Because for some gigs, I get anxiety, but I wouldn't say, for me, anxiety is something that I'm scared. I'm not going in there scared. Whereas, like, when I first start DJing out publicly or doing my first wedding, I would say that anxiety was more so nervousness, being more scared. Now it's not. It's not that I'm scared. It's more so, like you said, what kind of surprises am I going to run into? And so it's not until I can actually either introduce the bridal party or start to play a couple of songs before I can like relax and get into a groove. So that's why I like to at weddings mix during dinner, because it's almost like a warm up for me, so I can get a feel and get the muscle memory of mixing and all that together.
Yep. Yeah. I don't care if you practice all week long, every day of the week. When you get to a venue, to do a wedding, it's all, oh, wait a second, you start thinking. Sometimes you overthink, and that's when you start making mistakes.
Exactly. Let me put this in to our chat. I have a question for everyone that's here. Again, remember, this is not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. All right, so my question to you all is, what do you do to calm your nerves before pressing play? So what kind of exercises or routines do you all have to like relieve the stress? And then go ahead if you want to answer.
For me, it's I get there, I get all set up. My son and my daughter, or my daughter and her fiance, they do all my setup for me. But I go around and I talk to the guests, talk to the venue manager. If they have a wedding coordinator, talk to the wedding coordinator. Try to get everybody on the same page. What I always do is I print out an extra copy of how everything should flow. But then you never know with the wedding coordinator, they may throw a monkey wrench in there. So just okay, no problem. We'll adjust. We'll follow what you're doing. If that's okay by the bride and groom. Because when I get back from the bride and groom, that's what I feel should be concrete. That's it. So just going around talking to everybody, it calms me right down, because you get a feel for the people. And if they're ignorant, then you're like, if they're a bunch of drunks, then you're like, oh boy, how's my equipment going to be? If they're happy and jokative, then okay, this is going to be a good wedding.
Yep. And then Will has said that he takes tequila.
Do you eat the worm too, Willie?
Yep.
Or do they have the worm in the bottle anymore? I don't even know.
I know. I forget. Is it Quavo? There's one that's a yellow bottle with a red emblem on there. It's been a while because I used to work in the liquor department. So there's one that has the actual worm in there.
The worm in it. Yeah. Ugh.
I think it's Quavo.
I tried tequila one time and never again.
Yeah. So
it's like embalming fluid.
So with anxiety, it says gig anxiety encompasses the blend of nervous energy, self-doubt, and adrenaline. My speech impediment is coming in.
Okay.
That DJs experience leading up to and during their performances. So a lot of the times it's a mental thing, because it was just like going back to the gig that I had on Halloween. We did a veterans ceremony, because the place that I help out, they're opening up a what do you call it? A place for veterans. What do you call it? It's not a charter, but
a VFW?
It's like that, but a large. It's a large because they have a number.
Okay. Yeah, well, like the VFW is Veterans of Foreign War Post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be like ours here is Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 6325.
Yeah, I guess you can say it's a post, because they had a post, and I don't have the flyer of the exact number, but they was dedicating that place as their place to meet. So that's what that whole situation was. But I had to work with a lady that had to sing a song, and she could sing, but she's not a person that sings in front of people. So she was extremely nervous. So she had asked me, how do I get over being nervous in front of people? So it's like one of those things where I had to tell her it's more mental because you're worried about what other people are going to think, or you're worried about something that you can't control. So a lot of times it's us over complicating something that's real simple.
Yes. Yes. Stage fright could kill the best singer out there.
And he said Cabo Wabo Will.
I really had never heard of it, buddy.
And then
And
I troll smokes that loud. He smokes
smokes a joint.
either he's gonna be real chill or he's gonna be one of those ones, some
Oh yeah.
like those rappers, they take a little hit and then they just go wild and just be creative.
Well, if he does a look, he's gonna be bouncing around like a pinball.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Donald Blinn is in the house.
Yes. Heck yeah.
And he said Sammy Hagar will.
Quabo. Okay, yeah, Sammy Hagar's tequila that he makes.
Okay. And then
Quabo.
Yep. And then Donald Blinn said every gig has a stress factor. Yep.
Yes, it does.
But as far as DJing, I found the more you prep and plan, the less stressful it can be. And then also that's why it's important to also make sure you talk with your couples, because if you can get a feel of what's going on and expectations, then that can also lower the stress.
That's honestly what you said right there hits the nail on the head. Having that open line communication between you and the couple, that relieves their stress and it relieves your stress too. That right there, that's a boom. You hit it directly right on the head.
Yep. And then because lately a lot of couples that I've been doing, especially the younger ones, their main thing is being stressed out, and I try to make it as easy for them as possible. That's why I try to at least send out like email check-ins or walk them through I use Viber app. Some people hate on it. I use it just for that because it spells everything out. But it spells everything out because I don't have people calling me all the time or being stressed out. Because the main thing is if they're looking to you as the point person or the leader, the worst thing you can do as a leader is spaz out. Because
exactly.
it's just like a coach. If you're a coach or the captain, if the captain and the coach is always spazzing out, throwing fits or being tight, then that rubs off on your followers. So therefore, if you don't know the answer, at least act like you know the answer and find the answer. Or you may be scared, but you can't show it. You can't outwardly show that because that'll affect everybody else, and then they'll lose trust in your leadership.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I coached Pee Wee football. Those kids are sometimes it drive you to drink, but some coaches would be screaming at these kids, and I would just talk. Sometimes just talking, you get through to the person a lot quicker. But then there's times that you have to raise your voice. Don't yell, but just raise your voice a little bit. And these younger couples are very, family members are pulling at them to do certain things. Then they get to the venue and they're talking to the venue manager, and the venue manager saying it has to go like this or it has to go like that. And then when I sit down and talk to them, I say, listen, it's your day. You're paying that venue. You're their boss. You're paying me. You're my boss. You're paying the wedding coordinator. You're that person's boss. Whatever you want me to do, I will gladly do it for you. If the venue isn't really participating or, wanting to do what you want to do, I'll talk to the venue manager and say, listen, it's their day. If it's something that's really obscure and really most couples don't ask for anything really strange, but the venue manager will say, okay, yeah, we can let it go. We'll do it that way. Then that relieves the stress for everybody. So it's just we're like the mediator between everything. And the wedding coordinator is supposed to be the one who's supposed to be in charge, but honestly, when it comes down to it, it's the DJ who the photographer looks to the the venue manager can all say, okay, well, what are they doing now? What are they doing now? So you tell them exactly. Like I said, when I prepare for a wedding, I print out my sheet like of the introductions, everything that's going to go on. I hand that sheet to the venue manager, a sheet to the photographer. If they have a videographer, I hand one to him or her, and I have one for myself. So this way, we're all on the same page. The photographer doesn't have to come looking for me, or hey, yo, snap, or the videographer or the venue manager, time to eat, So it's just this way we're all on the same page together. So that relieves a lot of stress for the bride and groom. Puts a little bit more stress on us, but being in this business for so long now, I'm used to it, and I want the bride and groom to be as stress-free as they can. But you're going to have a family member that says, "You got to do this or you got to do that." So sometimes you got to talk to that family member too.
Because I printed out, but also after our final meeting, and everybody's okay with the timeline, I would download a PDF and text it to them. And then lately, my couples have been forwarding that text to the different vendors. So therefore, they already have a printout of the timeline. And the main thing is just making sure everybody's on the same page. Yep.
You're doing everything exactly what I do.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I do. And I start that way from day one, and knock on wood, it's still working,
And Will says he repeat the same intro for every event, just change location name and bride and groom's name, and then he practice it over and over and route to the event and repeat their names over and over. I've done that when I did the wedding for Kevin and Carrie. On the way there, I had the long drive, so I was busy practicing the names and everything. And then this last wedding I did, I definitely had to practice because they came in to Waka Flocka's Groove City? The party. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. That one. So the way I did it, it was like I did the chorus and then I had like a breakdown. So I only had like X a number of seconds to introduce each person. So it was going back and forth. So I make sure I had to get the timing right because it's almost like I set the names in like a rap performance kind of manner, so everything had flowed together. So yeah, that was a time I really had to practice the names, and then thank God they had simple names. They didn't have these crazy names. So I didn't have to worry. Yeah, I didn't have to worry about my tongue getting all tongue tied and my nervousness kicking in and all that.
Well, I'm sorry, my daughter was calling me then, so I just sent her a text. One thing I tell the couples is I rather introduce everybody by first name. Even the parents, Anthony and Josephine and, ladies before gentlemen. Stella and Frank, don't say their last name. It's parents of the bride, parents of the groom. Here's our bridesmaids and groomsmen, boom, 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 say their names. The only one that should have the last name, Mr. and Mrs., is the bride and groom. Because a lot of times you'll get people in the bridal party that are married, and they'll mark down, introduce them as Mr. and Mrs. I'm like, yeah, it's you guys are the Mr. and Mrs. tonight. They're married already. They went through this. But one thing in my introductions I don't mention is the venue's name. I never did. Never will. Because they got an invitation to go there. They know where they're at. So why you say, hey, welcome to Dwayne's, beautiful venue here. He has an amazing, amazing wedding venue. Everybody, let's hear it for Dwayne's wedding venue. They know where they're at because they got the invitation. Why introduce it? It's to me that's wasted air coming out of your lungs. Maybe I'm wrong.
I kind of like I do it because again, it's to me. I guess it's like one of those personal tics. It's like I have to get out and actually talk or say something. So since I don't know what to really say, so I would say that it's just more so for me to ease my anxieties and stuff of talking in front of people. Because normally I'm a quiet person. I really don't talk. So it's just like it's just like doing a podcast. If you had to ask me about doing a podcast last year, I was like, heck no, I don't mind being on it, but to actually do it and then I have to be the one to talk and keep it moving, that's not me. So it's like that's a way for me to step outside my comfort zone. And then once I talk and then I start looking at people and talking to the people, and then once I can kind of like see their expression, that kind of like ease me down and it makes me more comfortable around the venue. So that's why I do it. It's just a nervous thing, and I guess it's from teaching. You just do that to start off an assembly, so it's a habit, I guess.
You were talking about teaching. My good friend of mine who was a teacher, who was one of my teachers in school. I thought he smoked because he always held the chalk in his finger like a cigarette. So I asked him, I said, Jim, I'm just going to say his first name now. I'm not going to say his last name. But I said, Jim, when did you start smoking? He's Mike, I don't smoke. I'm like, well, you hold that chalk like you're smoking. And he puts it up to almost up to his mouth. And he's like, I've never smoked a day in my life. But that was his little tick with that, doing that. I'm naturally basically a quiet person. Believe me, I am. I'm not as, how can you say, outspoken. I'll talk anybody's ear off. I mean, I'll talk to a perfect stranger. It doesn't bother me. I can talk to them like a perfect stranger, but I'll feel like I knew them for 25, 30 years. It just happens from DJing and meeting so many different people. Then I'll be out shopping. Someone out here, yo, DJ Mikey Mike. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, man, you did my cousin's wedding. It's like, oh, when? Like, what date? So it's just something that comes, I guess, natural. You do build it up, and believe me, you don't have to. Some DJs I watch on YouTube, and they go into this big elaborate introduction, and they're out in the middle of the dance floor, and they're this. Listen, they're paying you to DJ. They're paying you to do the introduction. They're not paying you to be the center of attention. Get back behind the booth and make your introductions. Get everybody in there, and let's get the party rolling. So that's my take on it. It just, some DJs just go over the deep end, and some DJs are just, okay, here we go, wedding party. Like, what did I miss? Everybody's in already. They went through the dances already. So gotta learn to pace it out. When you do your introductions for the bridal party, Dwayne, do you pause between each couple coming in?
Yeah. Naturally, no. Actually, I actually asked the couples, how do they want me to introduce them? Because a lot of times, if you say their names and they are walking out and they're clapping, it's like I will pause and give each couple their moment. Especially if they come up and they want to do. There's some energetic couples that when you say their name, they'll come up and do a little turn or whatever.
Yes.
But if they ask me to go back to back, I'll go back to back. But it also depends on the song. Because if it's a hyped song, then you try to get the couple to make sure that their bridal party comes in hype or energetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's kind of like laid back and the music that they pick is laid back, I'll present it that way, and then I might go back to back. Just give that little moment, but it's not like I go, Bill Sue, next is such and such, and so. I let it breathe.
Okay. Well, I used to be into photography, going back in high school and in college and stuff. I went to school for graphic communications, so I know what it is like for a photographer from their standpoint. I see a lot of DJs that'll say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, parents of the bride, Tony and Stella, parents of their groom, Jessica and Albert. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here comes our bridal party. We have Jeff and Joanne. We have this one and that one. Totally wrong. Introduce the parents of the bride. Wait for them to come out. And what I do prior to introductions, I go back, I talk to the bridal party and I say, listen, ladies and gentlemen, when you first come out, you'll hear me say your name, come out. The photographer is going to be at such and such a place. She's going to take your picture. Then after that, or he's going to take your picture, and after that, do what you want to do. If you have a little act you're going to do, that's fine. But prior to that, the bride and groom are paying this photographer enough money to make sure they get a great shot of you. Because I had a couple of times, today you don't see it too much. The bridesmaids carrying bouquets. I don't know what, I guess that's going to the wayside. But I had a bridesmaid pick up the bouquet like this, and next thing you know, the groomsman has a bouquet for a head. Like, man. So then you see the photographer after all the introductions are over and dances are done. They're taking that couple from the bridal party and reshooting a picture for them. So you talk to them about that and take it nice and easy. Once you see the photographer take their picture, next couple.
Mm-hmm.
Photographer takes a picture, next couple. Because you get somebody fat like me and you get somebody skinny like you're standing in front of me, we both have great tuxedos on. Guess what? You're gonna look huge, you're gonna look as big as me, because it's just gonna be too close together.
Yep. And I see comments in the chat. Just leave Buddy alone, because Buddy is he got to turn the volume down low enough so he can listen to our show and start the spin show at the same time. So that's yeah, because he said my mic is low again. Because how did my mic sound? All right, and then Kevin said, all right. And then Donna Blinn said, photographers suck.
Nah, they're there doing their job and they're getting paid very well for it. But you gotta think, they start their day around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe even earlier. They may have an hour ride or a 45-minute ride. So if they have a 45-minute ride, they're leaving their house at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, getting there for 7 o'clock, getting everything set up, taking pictures of the bride getting dressed, all their different little poses and stuff, and then going over to their groom's place, taking pictures of their groom.
Yeah, he said your mic is low, but I don't know what, buddy. Yours is fine.
I don't know. I could pull it closer. I mean, a wedding is a puzzle.
Mm-hmm. And
the DJ is one piece of the puzzle. The venue is one piece of the puzzle. The photographer, videographer, we're all pieces of one. We're all pieces that come together and make up a beautiful puzzle for the bride and groom. So I don't say the photographer sucks or the videographer sucks or the venue manager sucks or the wedding coordinator sucks. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But again, we're creating a puzzle, and we're all pieces of that puzzle for that bride and groom, for their day, and their day is the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. And let's go to the chat, because Will had made a good point. Because to help with my anxiety, like when I first started doing solo weddings by myself, I was under the mindset when I do like the introductions or come out and speak to the guests that I had to have everything memorized. And so what I was finding out, and then too, also being a teacher, you know, you have your teacher editions, the book that tells you every little step. I used to do a very detailed outline of what to do, what to say, and all that stuff, and try to memorize it. And when I get to the event, it's like, okay, I memorized it, so I step out to say it, and every time I got ready to step out to say it, either someone would ask me something or there was a delay. And then after the delay, it's like I have a brain freeze and I forget what I'm supposed to say.
Braveheart.
Yeah. So like Will is like, I've gotten to the point, especially when you do the introductions, because a lot of times I'm playing the music, I'm by myself, so I'm playing the music, everybody's looking that way. They're not looking at me, so I just read it. I just have it right there. I just read it, just go boom, boom, boom. So therefore I can say it, hit the point, and get on out.
Yep. Oh, definitely. His buddy mentioned videographer sucks if they don't know their gear. Hey, buddy, we were all there at one point in time. You know, we got new DJ equipment. We could practice with it all week long. We get to the venue, we start DJing. We're like, uh-oh, where's this at? You know, so can't pick on anybody. Again, we're creating a beautiful picture, puzzle, whatever you want to call it, for that bride and groom, and we're all pieces of it. If we don't come together and join together, guess what? We're just ruining their day. That's all we're doing.
And then Donna Blend says, when you say a lot of words, those are just filler words. And then Will said he tried to keep his announcements to a minimum to avoid mistakes if you're afraid of the mic.
I'm never afraid of the microphone.
I'm not anymore, because I got used to, after doing the podcast, I'm got used to talking and hearing my voice.
The thing is, try and tell people that are giving the toast, microphone here, keep your thumb out. Put your thumb up against your chin. The head of the microphone should be right here. So you're just going to sound great. Next thing you know, the microphone starts going down, and the microphone's at the belly button, and everybody's going, turn it up, we can't hear them. I don't care how much we turn it up, you're not going to hear them, you know?
The ones I like is the ones that says, oh, I don't need a microphone. Everybody's saying you need a microphone or speak louder, or they hold the microphone down by their bellies.
Yep. There's only one person I know that doesn't need a microphone. It's my cousin. And she'll tell you, and but trust me, she does not need a microphone. She works with the elderly people and working with people that are in their 70s and 80s and they have different handicaps. You have to be louder, so she is loud. It's like, whoa! If I gave her a microphone, it'd be 100 times worse.
And then Donna Blend said he disagreed with announcing your company name or service. Every time I see DJs do that, I cringe. Yeah, I don't say my DJ. I don't say me sci-fi. I don't go there. I just open the floor up, say what I have to say, and get on. I don't want to do all that extra stuff. Yeah.
Donna Blend, the only time I say my name is at the end of the night. I say, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the bride and groom, whatever their names are, for having me. I'm DJ Mikie Mike. I hope everybody had a great time. If you are a little too intoxicated, or if you think you may have just too many drinks, please call an Uber, or please go home with a designated driver. And that's the only time I'll ever say my name.
Yep. And then Buddy was asking about the troll. Well, you missed him. He must have slid in and slid out because he was here earlier.
He was, bud.
Yep. Because he said he liked that loud to ease his anxiety.
Yep. The little toke.
He says, and then Will says, use a Gator mic stand for speeches.
I love it. Love that stand, Will.
He says it's easy to grip and adjustable. And Kevin said, if in school, take a public speaking elective class.
Well, it's been 43 years since I've been out of school, so I'm not going back to take any public speaking class. I'll earn my stripes with the mistakes that I make.
because nowadays, to be honest, as far as being being a retired teacher now, the one thing that used to bug the heck out of me is when teachers have students get up to read a speech or do their daily talk, especially if they come and if I don't have anything to do with the assembly and they have their students come up and read something or say something and they mumble. That irks me to no limit. I'm like, open your mouth and talk like you're talking to someone in the back of the room. Actually, talk like the way that you all do in the hallway when you're all supposed to be at a level 1. Talk like that. That getting up there mumbling, or they have a piece of paper and they have it in front of their face like that. That irks me to no end. So it's just a matter of teachers stressing that they get up and talk and stand up straight and be proud.
I'll tell you one thing. This one professor I had in college, I always hated English. I despised English. I could not stand getting up in front of talking in front of people. I just said chills up and down my spine. So, after college I go. I went to college 2 semesters. I left. I was working at UPS. I got injured. Then I went back to college back in the mid-90s, and I had a English professor, and she said, all right, we're going to do a speech, and it's going to be in front. We're going to go to the auditorium, and there's like 8 different classes going to be there. So now you're like 250 people. Well, now the kids I'm saying kids. I was in my mid-30s already. So these kids were only 18, 19 years old. So you have 18, 19-year-olds, and then you have some people older than me, some people younger than me, or a lot younger than me. So she goes, one thing I'm going to tell you what to do. Don't hold like you said, don't hold your paper up in front of your face. Keep it down. If you make a mistake, don't stop. Just keep going. Because once you stop, now she knows you made a mistake, and all the other teachers and everybody in that audience knows you make a mistake. So as long as you keep it going, keep that flow going, they don't know you made a mistake because they don't know what's on that paper. All that knows that's on the paper is you. And when you have to hand that paper in, that teacher ain't going to remember what you read. So as long as you didn't stop, you just kept that going, she's not going to say, oh, geez, he missed this. She can't remember everybody's speech. There's no possible way.
Yep. And then Will says he got nervous at a ceremony, I guess because he followed up with wireless mic, don't fail me now. So I guess he's worried about his wireless equipment. And smile when you talk on the mic.
Yes. Yeah. Smile all the time. I mean, life's too short not to smile. And there's so many different things in life today that could get you down. You smile, somebody might be walking by, you just throw a smile on us. Hello, how you doing? Good day. Hi. I mean, even at a wedding, you're walking by a guest, you smile. They might be thinking of something down, and then you throw them a smile. Might brighten their day up. So throw a people. Doesn't cost you nothing. That's it. Smile as long as you can.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the things that will cause us to have anxiety. Like want to be perfect. No one's perfect. Even if you make a mistake, this is what I tell my students all the time. If you make a mistake, you can't go back and erase time. So why worry about it? Because if you worry about the mistake that you made, you're going to make 10 or 1,000 more mistakes because you're not focused on what is at hand right at that particular point.
Yes. Yep.
And then fear of technical issues, just like what Will was just saying. So that's why it's important to make sure you get reliable equipment. Not necessarily, it doesn't, because some people get hung up in name brands and all that stuff. Just make sure wherever you get is reliable. And if something goes wrong with it or breaks or something, that you always testing your equipment out, making sure it works. And if it's something that's not working, replace it. Don't go and bring something that you know that may not work, bring it there, because that's the time that it will definitely go out on you.
We got a perfect person in the chat.
Let me see. I'm a perfect. And then
He's a friend too.
because I thought because according to the Facebook group page, I thought you was going to say Buddy. Buddy was the perfect.
No. He's my perfect pizza man and hot bag man.
And then
I'll tell you, here's two big fears for me. I'm not worried about my equipment failing because you could have the best, you could have the worst, you have the most expensive or the cheapest. Equipment can't break, it can't fail. My thing is getting to the venue, praying there's no accidents on your way going there. That is one of my biggest things. Then forgetting my batteries at home for my microphone. It's like, oh my God, I forgot my batteries and I had them right by my keys. How did I walk out of the house without the batteries? And I try to change my batteries after every gig, even if they're not worn down enough. Still, they're out. That's it. But there's been so many times I forgot my batteries. I'm making phone calls to my wife. Hey, you gotta bring me batteries, or send somebody up, bring me batteries up here. I need them now, ASAP. So hopefully I'm in distance with them. If I'm an hour and a half away, I'm running to the store. I'll tell the bride and groom, because I'm there early enough to set up and everything. And all of a sudden, I see my meter on my battery life. Oh, I gotta go get batteries, because I forgot mine. That's my really biggest fear. That and an accident on the way getting there. Not me specifically, but seeing an accident in front of you and you're held up in traffic for an hour or two.
Yep. But at least you didn't do like I did and forget your speaker, your top speakers.
I'll tell you, I bring, 2 tops, 2 subs, and I bring an extra set of tops. I bring an extra set of speaker stands. Whatever lighting I'm using, I bring at least, say if I'm the, oh my God, I'm trying to think. Whatever lighting I'm using, I'll bring, if I have an extra one of it, I'll bring other extra lighting with me in case that lighting that I have fails. I have other lighting I can throw up. I have 2 controllers with me, 2 mixers with me. One's a digital, one's an analog. At least 4 to 6 microphones with me. This is for every time I go out to do a wedding. And then I have my hard drives, then I have a backup drive. And one thing I'll tell you, make a backup drive, especially for the ceremony and for the introductions. Your hard drive may fail. You'll have enough time to download some music for the rest of the wedding. But for their main music, you need to have their music on, and that's it. I mean, if not, your goose is cooked. If your hard drive fails and you have the bride and groom's music on that hard drive, what do you do then? You're stuck.
Yeah, I'll try to load it on my phone, or at least have a Spotify playlist of those songs, so at least I can get to them.
That's wrong. Because if you can't get Wi-Fi, what do?
But if you got your computer, if your computer goes down, you're still stuck.
Oh, I bring my Mac and I bring my other Mac with me. I bring 2 computers.
Because I had a situation where both of my computers went down. So I was screwed. So that's what I'm saying. Again, it's like those songs also put it, because you can put it in your music files and go through iTunes and put it on your actual phone or extra device. So you have that, but also having the ability to put it on Spotify as well, because it's better to have more eggs instead of 1 or 2. You gotta have a backup of a backup of a backup. Because I have ran into situations where one thing went down, because who would have thought you had 2 computers and both of them go down? I would
That's-
never have thought about that because I had to back up
No.
hard drives, but it meant nothing if I can still get to the music. So it's like
Was it a Mac or PC?
it was PC. Both of them was PC at the time.
that
That's
explains
why I
it.
went to the Mac.
That yeah. Have you had a problem with that since you got the Mac?
Yep.
Did you have a problem like that since you got the Mac or no?
I wouldn't say it was a Mac issue. If anything, because Serato sometimes want to act funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
I started with Serato. I love it. It's a great program, but it just takes so long to load up. It just do 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 do. You know, virtual DJ. You start up, boom, you're right there. But the thing I'm getting to yet, both PCs went down. You have a Mac now. Your Mac never just crashed out on you, did you?
No, but one thing I would say about Mac, even though they don't have little issues, but they also are finicky too. Cause
Oh yeah.
it's like they're finicky, and you can't upgrade or anything. It is what it is. So that's the only bad thing I could say about Mac is that I like to add to or customize, and I'm limited on what I can do with the Mac as far as that is concerned.
Well, you can upgrade it, but it will void your warranty. So once your warranty's up anyhow, so if you want to put a bigger hard drive in it, yeah, you can.
Not the new ones. I had a 2013. My 2013, I could
Really?
open up because that's what I did. I took out my CD-ROM and put in an SSD. So I had a 512 SSD, and I had two SSDs at the time. 512 was the big budget-friendly one because a terabyte was ridiculously high at that time. But I had two SSD 512 megabytes inside of my Mac. It was a 2013. But once you got into closer to the 2020s, it's like it is what it is. You can't open it up and put in extra memory cards and all that kind of stuff.
Well, no, well, you can't put extra memory cards in, but what you do is you take that one out that you have your operating system on, say it's only a 256 drive, and you drop the 512, or you could drop a terabyte one in there, and as long as you have everything run off to your time machine, and we put that new hard drive in there, everything should come back onto your Mac, onto that new hard drive then.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying with the Mac, this one.
Oh, you can't put extra hard drives in it. No, that's understandable.
Yeah, I have the old one where I can actually open it up and I can put stuff in there.
They're making everything so not so hard, but it's disposable, or they're upgrading it. So now you got to upgrade. So you might have just bought that Mac a year or two ago. Macs will last. I have one from 2001 I can still DJ with. And the thing is, it still runs everything, but it's very, very slow. I mean, very slow, but it's still running. You know, and you could put more RAM in it, and you could do this, you could do that. But today's Macs, PCs even, there's only so much you could do with them. What you buy is what you get, like you said. I've seen some DJs now going over to the Mac Mini, or to, I think PC came out like with a little Mini. Then they just put up a 25-inch monitor. Boom, you're done. You're not worrying about a laptop no more. You have a little Mac Mini. You're done. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yep. And let's see. Will said CDs or records not skipping. That's what gets him nervous. Dance floor causing turntable needles to skip.
Yep.
Let's see. Equipment has evolved so much in the last 20 years. It makes your anxiety just a little better. Yep.
Oh God, yeah. Well, you're correct there.
All right, so let's go on down our list. Also, the pressure to keep the crowd engaged. It's like you play a song and the dance floor clears, or you don't get a response that you thought you was going to get. That can be stressful. Comparing yourself to other DJs, not being yourself, because that's what was going on in my mind when I did this gig in Columbus. Worry about how other DJs would handle it, as opposed to looking at my skill level and what I'm capable of doing. Managing, huh?
If you hear something talking in the background, Alexa went off, so Alexa's talking in the background.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. Alexa, shut up.
Yeah, I turned mine off last week.
Yeah,
And it says, and then it says the next one is managing expectations from clients or event planners. So that goes back to your consultation meetings.
Yes.
Feeling responsible for the vibe and outcome. But that has a lot to do with trying to control or worry about something that you can't control. Because if it's out of your hands, then it's really no reason to harp on it.
Also, like sometimes you might be working for yourself or for multi-op, and you got to remember to give out the props. I mean, if you sit there and you sit on those props and you don't give them out, it's like, what? And then at the end of the night, you're going, oh my God, I forgot to give out the props. I know a certain DJ that did that, and he was just so bummed out about it, He's in the chat too.
Mm-hmm. And then Buddy said you should be watching what is going on. You can make them dance, but if you see people enjoying the music, you're doing it right.
No, Buddy, you're right. You
can't make them dance. That's probably what he meant. So yeah, because there's sometimes you'll get there and they're just not a dancing group, or you can get to a situation where there's people that are coming from out of town, or they haven't seen each other for years and they want to socialize. So you give them that moment to socialize. And then when they're ready to dance or bop, they'll dance and bop. And then Will says,
he's not perfect.
the hardest wedding for me is a dry, no alcohol wedding. That's challenging.
They're fun because what I like to do then is if they make a mistake dancing, I pause. Say, ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing? And they're like looking at me like, just say I dance Cupid shuffle to the left, to the left, to the left, right? So I'm going to my right, which is their left, because I'm facing them. Well, if they're going with me, or they're going the opposite way of me, so it's like, wait a second, no, you're supposed to be going the other way. Oh my God, I'm thinking, oh Jesus, these people are stone sober. Like, okay, all right, let's go with it. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, raise your left hand. They're like, there it is. Yeah, you get no, put the other left up. Like, you have to joke around with people. They get uptight too.
Yep. They feed off of your energy. That goes back to the point I said earlier.
Yes, definitely they do. Willie, I got your number.
Huh?
I told Willie I got his wife's number. I'll ask her.
But I'm looking at these slides, so we don't have to go through each one of these. Balancing multiple. Because I think we pretty much stated what causes anxiety. So let's get back to
how we can overcome it.
Yeah, how do we overcome it? Because again, it's all about planning. The more you plan and then plan for things to happen or have backup, then that will relieve a lot of stress. And it goes back to what Buddy was saying. It's how you recover from it.
Each person is different. Some people love to work under stress and they work great. Some people just can't handle stress. So for the ones that can't handle stress, I say get a good night's sleep, eat a good breakfast, go over stuff, but don't kill yourself going over and over and over, because then you're adding stress to the situation. Yeah, you're adding fuel to the fire there. But if you're a DJ or whatever you do in life, you might be a surgeon, whatever, and you can work good on the stress, or you might even work better on the stress. Let the stress come upon you, because you know what? You're going to shine. Believe me. But if you want to, if you're a person that can't work good on the stress, like I said, get a good night's sleep. Don't kill yourself by going over the names and make sure this, make sure that. Load the vehicle the night before. Make a whip sheet. It's work in progress. And you go over it like for every wedding that I do, whatever the couple wants, I make a whip sheet. They want these lights, this, you know, boom, 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 right down from A to Z. And as I load it into the vehicle, I check it off. I know what's in there. My batteries. I don't have that on any list, so I got to put that on a list of batteries. Do not forget, you know. But that is one of the easiest ways, because this way you're not stressed out about that either. But again, everybody's different. I love to work on the stress. You know, there's nights I'm doing a wedding the next day. I'm not going to bed till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up. I'm ready to roll. There's other DJs I know, man. They're going to bed. You know, if they have a wedding, they're in bed by 8, 9 o'clock the latest, and they're sleeping at 6, 7 o'clock the next morning. I'm like, oh my God, that's enough sleep for 4 days for me. But it just try to, you know your body. And if you're getting stressed out that much, honestly, seek medical attention. Talk to a doctor. He may say, hey, Willie, Dwayne, Mike, I got a little something that's going to make you feel a little better before you go to do a wedding. You'll be good.
And let's see. Will says, wallflowers don't dance no matter what you play.
Exactly.
Then Buddy says, what stresses him out is when drunk people come and put drinks on your gear. And then Will went back and said, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And he thinks that mic work is what scares a lot of DJs. Hire a pro MC and you stick to mixing. That's a good suggestion.
Yes.
But, and it also goes back to what I found, if you don't have an MC, understand what you want to say before you say it. Because I think if you think about, this is what I want to convey, and just stick to it and say it, give direction, or whatever you're going to do, say it and then get off. I think that is more important as opposed to trying to fiddle your way through or overthink it.
Sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
You don't want to sugarcoat it. You want to be blunt. You don't want to be blunt, but you want to be precise and to the point.
Because that's all you have to do. And then again, if it's one of those things where you need to write stuff down and it doesn't matter if you read it, have it, iPad or phone or whatever, just go ahead, read it, because it's better for you to say it and speak clearly and get your point across quickly as opposed to stumbling and bumbling through it.
I love when you're going to do the introductions and you say, ladies and gentlemen, can you please kindly take your seats? And you get a couple looking around and they'll look at you, the DJ, and they'll go, me? Well, and then I sometimes I'll play with them. I'll say, do you see anybody else standing? Okay, I'm going to take my seat, you know. And 99.9% of the time, it's a woman. Very rarely will you see a man standing up. But once you say, ladies and gentlemen, can you kindly take a seat or take your seat? You'll see all the men. I don't care if they're up at the bar. Boom, they're flying back over to their seat. The women, you'll get one or two that'll stand up, and then when you say it, I may say it 2, 3 times, and they'll turn and look at me like, me? They point at themselves. It's like, well, and like you say, play with them. Ma'am, do you see anybody else standing up? And they look around like, oh no, okay, I'll see you. They wave and they boop up to their seat. That's one of the hardest things to do is get everybody to take their seat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
Tell-
then
no,
talk,
tell them to stand up. They're up. Yeah.
talking about people standing up. But he said wallflowers don't dance, just drive with one headlights. And then Will said, does anyone pre-record their announcements? I say no. I'd rather do it live because you can always have hiccups or something. So I'd rather, and then too, it's like when you pre-record it, sometimes you pre-record it at a mood or an energy level that may not be or different than what is going on at that event. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, because sometimes
with AI you could do it
No.
because it'll give you that little spice. You say, all right, pick it up, pitch it up a little bit. But I still wouldn't do it because you know what? There's a chance for a hiccup, like you just said.
Yeah, because to me, I rather, because then it takes that genuine and then authentic. That's that other word with my tongue. You're not authentic. It takes that away. It takes that away when, if it's pre-recorded, it doesn't have that. To me, it's almost, I'd rather have a live person actually interacting as opposed to pre-recorded, because then it's perceived differently.
Well, to answer Will's question on that, say if you have it recorded, you have everybody's name down, bride and groom's name, well, you have everybody from the parents of the bride right down to the bride and groom. And I did an African wedding. It was probably one of the most beautiful weddings I've done. Because the groom and his parents were right from Africa, so they came out with their garb on. But Grandpa had to go take a number 2. And he was the second one to be announced. So I already announced the grandparents of the bride. Now what do? He's back in the bathroom. So you can't hit pause.
But wait a minute, but you can't hit this button though.
Yeah, I know that one. So if you record it, don't hit pause. Be live. Say, ladies and gentlemen, we have some technical issues. We'll be right back in introductions. Then we get the bride's grandparents back in line, and we just go right back through it again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a whole fresh start all over.
Yep.
Be recording it? No.
Yeah, because it's too much. It's too much that can go wrong, and then it goes right back to what I was saying earlier about timing. That timing can be off, because for some reason, like when you deal with dresses, a dress could get hung up, or that enough to throw everything off, and it doesn't come out right. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's like re-recording your set. That new program that's out, DJ Studio, I love it. It's a great program. And there are a few DJs that I do follow on YouTube, and the one DJ was going through it and showing how he did this, and he only plays 15 and 20 seconds of a song, and he goes, but I don't use that during my set. Okay, so he did a wedding that weekend because he was showing everything he was preparing for that weekend. And here, songs are going one after another like he would be mixing them. But the faders never went up and down. Crossfader never went back and forth. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the next weekend he did another wedding. But when the transitions were going from song to song, whoever is videotaping, or was he videotaping for himself, he did not have it on his hands at all. I don't know if he had an instant 360 or whatever, but he didn't show his hands, so you couldn't see if the crossfades were going back and forth. So apparently he's using DJ Studio to do his mixes. So it's like, hey, if you get away with it, that's great. But to me, I'd rather mix. Here in northeastern PA, They want to hear the whole song 99.9% of the time. Just those couple times that it's not that they want to cut short, but you get to the point of the night, you have a bunch of songs on the list yet that you want to get through. That's when you have to start quick mixing yourself. And if the bride and groom, at that point they won't get mad at it because they're so relaxed. Their night's almost over, and they can't wait to get out of there because their feet are sore and they have every complaint in the world. Then they want to get back to the room to count their money. That's all it is.
Yep. But going back to the wallflowers, to alleviate extra stress, I try to prepare my crates so I have dance floor bangers, the ones that I know work. So if I get like a dead dance floor or I hit a song that I lose a lot of people, to bring that energy back, I have these songs that I know work all the time. And then also I put them in like different crates for each event. I have my sing-alongs. So if you have people that is not really dance, or they could be on the floor, but you want them to be more energetic and more engaged, I have like a specific like sing-along crates, your line dance crates, your dance specific crates, and then your crates that you can slam the song in. So I either have an epic introduction like Jump Around, that dun 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 dun, or DMX has that bump dun dun dun. So as soon as you hear that song, you elicit a certain response. So I have those kind of crates. So that's how I try to put together my playlist throughout the night. So if I need something to get me out of jail, I know I can go to these songs and save them and put them throughout the night.
I just did a wedding recently, about a month and a half or so ago, and I don't have. Has this happened to you at all lately? 9 times out of 10, they want to hear dance music basically the whole night. 1 or 2 slow songs. That's about it. This was the opposite. I want to say about 88% of the music was slow songs. 12% was dance songs. Like, okay, then how's this gonna go over?
So were the audience a lot of couples?
Not really. No, there was couples there. There was old, there was young, but most of the music was from the 50s through the early 80s. And there was like Ed Sheeran, Perfect, and a couple other songs from today that were slow. But as soon as you put a slow song on, the dance floor is full. You went back to your dance mix, you still have people out there, but not like when you have the slow songs on. I'm like, wow, this is different. This is completely different. Because usually people want to boom, boom, boom. And these are, like I said, the majority was younger people, but they just love to slow dance.
They just want the vibe.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, that's the first time that happened in a long, long time for me.
I see Diego's here. I know they had took a couple of weeks off. I'm glad to see them back. Yeah, I gotta make sure I check out the new episode of Start to Spin.
Yeah. That's our buddy.
And
The troll didn't hit him, did it?
Huh?
Troll didn't hit him, did he?
I don't know. I gotta go and watch their episode to see, cause I can't do like Buddy. I can't multitask like that.
No, that's too hard for me.
Yeah. Then my anxiety level goes up.
Buddy, we love you. I'm still waiting for that email to come onto the show. Do you need my email address again, buddy?
So before we go out, we haven't did this one in a long time. To spin the wheel. Oh, no. So this spin the wheel.
I'll be anxious. I am full of anxiety now.
This one, things we care about as DJs that our clients don't. So let's do 4 of them. We'll spin 4 of them, and wherever it lands on, let's see, is this something? And also in the chat, put in the chat, do DJs care more about whatever pops up, or is it something that a client worries about more? And there's no in between. It's either one or the other, so you can't say both. All right, here we go.
I'm ready.
All right, this is a straightforward one. An artist ego, so that means a DJ ego. So that goes back to the DJ that you were talking about earlier. So,
My ego? I'm just a normal person.
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the one that you were saying that they were making it all about them, being all on the microphone, acting like Diddy, all on the microphone, talking all over the records. They got a zillion social media followers. So
Yep.
you could say it's easy, all right? Troll was in our show. Yep, he said the troll was over there too. The troll be out there trolling. He be putting in work. Yeah, so in the chat, what do you all think? Do clients really care about how many followers you have? Or is that more so a DJ thing? And you can't say both. It's either one or the other. I'll give you all a couple of seconds before I give. It's not about you, it's about the client. Okay, Will said. So which one, Will? Because I know it's not about you. So, but in this case, who do you think cares more about their ego? Is it the DJ or is it the client?
I'd say definitely the DJ. Because the client is hiring you to play music. They're not looking at how many subscribers you have, how many followers you have. I mean, I've been doing this going on with 22 years now. I had one client ask me what type of equipment I use. That was it. Out of 22 years.
Yeah, when it comes to equipment, my couples, or I shouldn't say couples, clients in general, would just, the most they will get into equipment will be, do I have the equipment to do the event, not what type of equipment. It's just whether or not I'll be able to handle their request.
Yes.
So everyone agrees that it's a DJ thing, the DJ ego.
Yeah.
All right, let's try another one. Gear obsession. Let's see, who suffers from gas? The gear acquisition syndrome. Is it a DJ or is it the client?
Don't ask my wife this question. Definitely, it is the DJ.
All right. The Ruckus said DJ as well.
Yes, yes. How about TBM? You're not answering no questions, man. Didn't you just buy some new gear?
DJ, okay. Yep. I say it's the DJ.
But he must have went silent on us.
Oh, he might be watching, what's his name? King, is it King James? It's another YouTuber that he follows now.
I might be having a pizza.
All right, let's try two more. Reading the room, which is more important? Do you think that's a DJ thing, or do you think a client looks at reading the room more important?
Definitely the DJ. And if the DJ isn't reading the room, it's not really a professional DJ.
Mm-hmm.
He's a weekend warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you as a professional DJ, I mean, I seen it many times. Guys put their music on, they just keep playing it. There's nobody on the dance floor. Like, you had a crowd, you lost a crowd. Get them back here. Get your head out of your Mac or out of your PC. Look at the floor. Look what you did. You had the dance floor packed. Now all of a sudden you're down to one or nobody. Okay. I mean, maybe there's a reason why you did it. Maybe you want to give them a break. But you don't just kill the dance floor like that completely. There's no possible way. So definitely the DJ has to pay attention to the room. He or she has to be reading the room continuously.
Mm-hmm. It could go both ways. I would say a good DJ should be reading the room, but I'm thinking there's a lot of DJs that don't necessarily read the room. They play for themselves. Because it goes back to just before I came on the show, I think it's, which one does Rachel Lynch do? The DJ Help Desk or DJ
Help Desk? Yeah.
There was a big post that she put, and then Brian responded to about DJs quick mixing. So I guess now the whole debate is quick mixing, yes or no, and they saying that more couples are complaining about DJs zipping through these songs and not playing it through. So yeah, we say DJs should read the room, but are they really reading the room and the vibe if we're getting a lot of people complaining about their mixing style?
Well, what I'm saying, like, read the room. If you have the dance floor packed, and like I said, up here in northeastern PA, 99.9% of the time they want to hear the song from A to Z. So if you're not reading the room, you have your head down and you just type away looking at songs and stuff, and then you have one song in the queue and you just throw it, you hit play, boom, because you know that one's coming to, you're going to drop that one out. And then all of a sudden, that song is a complete flop, and people start easing their way out the dance floor. That's when you should see that and say, oh, geez, we got to get something else on. Hey, let me throw Pitbull on. Get everybody back out here. Come on, people. We're going to dance. We're going to party. Don't get on the microphones. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, where you going? Guess what? When you say that, they know you made a mistake. Just drop the song. That's all. Boom. Bring them back out on the dance floor.
Yep.
It's like going to the doctor. You go to the doctor for one reason. He's a medical doctor. He diagnoses you with a problem, whatever you have. I know a lot of people that diagnose themselves too. Well, my doctor said I had this, but I looked in this medical encyclopedia, or I looked it up on YouTube, or I this. Listen, you went to the doctor. The doctor told you what it is. You're hiring a DJ. The DJ is going to do what you need. That's it. The DJ has to be the professional there.
Yep. And then Larica says, quick mixing is good when done right and with the right songs at the right time. I always quick mix on Pacific times of the event. Yep.
Yes, I have to agree with you there. I mean, but there's DJs that quick mix from point A through point Z, and the one DJ he was bragging he mixed over 700 something songs that night, 4 or 5 hour wedding. I'm like, holy Jesus, how the heck did you do that? And then showed a video of the dance floor, and people are turning around looking at him like, what are you doing, man? I'm just getting into the Cupid Shuffle. You're into the electric slide. Now you're into the YMCA. I'm just getting into the electric slide. It's like bump. The people couldn't keep up with his mixing. So it's quite awful, actually, to see the expression on these guests' face.
Yep. And there's no right or wrong answers to these. So, because this one could have been both. But since we had to pick one a side or the other, so I was playing devil's advocate.
No. Wait, there is a right or wrong. Here on Cue It Up, we're always right.
Oh. I thought Will was the one that was always perfect and right.
Oh, he's perfect. TBM production, are they always right?
Well, now according to bad DJ setups.
Oh, no. Jesus. I hate that.
Let's try one more before we head on out. mixing perfectly, making sure every single transition is dead on, spot on, no mistakes.
No, we're human. We make mistakes. We're not AI. We make mistakes. If we make a mistake, own up to it. If you're supposed to play a certain song at a certain time of the night and you don't play it, or you play the wrong song for an introduction, own up to it. But I make sure I have the right songs for. Good friend of mine who's a DJ, he changed the bride and groom's complete playlist for their introductions and for their first dance and for the parent dances. Then he's wondering why the check bounce. I said, well, did you just do this, or did you okay with the bride and groom? No, I just did it. I'm like, well, hey, I wouldn't pay you either because you're ruining their night for them, you know. So we're human.
So what is your answer? Is this something that a DJ worries about more, or the client?
Oh yeah, a DJ worries about it more.
All right, and then the ruckus said DJ, even AI makes mistakes. Yup. And then Buddy says he's never right.
His wife says that too.
Yep. So to me, the DJ worries about this more so than the client, because there's many times I did a transition and it wasn't right, and I was like, I'm just eating myself up because it wasn't right. But then the guests will come up and say, "Oh, you're killing it, man." So it's like they don't care as long as you. Now, if you go up there and train wreck and just everything that's off kilter, then yeah, they don't notice it. But little stuff like that, only DJs would sit back and be doing the little check boxes on you.
I'll give you one thing that's worse than a bad transition. But what do you say? What is?
What's worse than a bad transition?
This is an easy one. Buddy might even know this one.
Was it when the song goes dead?
Dead air, man. That is worse than any worse transition. If there is dead air, no, that's uncalled for. I don't care if you mix like crap. Listen, you're keeping the vibe going. That's all that counts. And the guests don't know. And by the point of the night in the wedding, most of them are intoxicated. They're not going to go home and say, "Geez, Dwayne messed that transition up. Or Mike messed. Oh my God, he went from 120 BPM down to 85 BPM." They don't know. They don't care. They're there to have a good time. That's all it is. So show them a good time. Let them have fun. Let them smile.
And DJ Will said pressing the wrong buttons. And then Buddy said,
Yeah.
She tells me that all the time, 26 years.
Ha, buddy, I got you beat. Next Tuesday, 30 years for me, buddy.
And then the ruckus says, I agree with Buddy. Oh yeah, and then Will says, or pulling a power cord off the wall.
One of the things is too also putting the wrong song on the deck and then hitting play, and you're like, uh-oh. They go to the next deck and here you have that same song queued up on that deck too. You're like, oh my God. So then you're scrambling around trying to get that other song up that they want to hear, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But remember, when you're at a wedding, it's there, the beginning of the night, you want it to be perfect. And you want the rest of the night to be as good as it could be. But they're there for one thing. They're not worried about your equipment, your lighting, how you're mixing. They're there for one thing. They're there for the bride and groom. They're there to dance and have a good time and smile. And we're there to provide that for them. We're not there to be on the microphone saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have this song coming from 1984. And it's the wrong song. It's not from 1984. You're not a radio DJ. You're a mobile DJ doing a wedding. Do what you're getting paid to do. Play the music.
Yep. And then with putting a disclaimer to what you just said, but you can't suck. If you suck then your equipment and all that other stuff that don't care, now they're gonna start nitpicking. Yeah, so you gotta make sure your stuff is at least adequate and you're doing your thing because
I had to put my Walmart stuff away like a year and a half ago. I had to buy some new stuff. Honestly, the Walmart stuff was just starting to kill me.
And then Buddy said he had a guest pull out the power cord because he didn't play a song he wanted.
Oh, that's I honestly I would have stepped on his fingers. I would boom stepped right on him. Oh. No way.
You wouldn't kick him in his chest like the way your cartoon character kicked me in my chest at the beginning of the show?
No, I'm not that violent.
I was like, why did the AI create that cartoon character? Of all the things, you kicked me right in the chest, and then they went boom.
I liked how I had that grayish beard. I was roly-poly, you know. I tell you, this is a lot of fun. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I mean, we love having you guys here. I mean, it's awesome that you join us every Thursday. Maybe we'll make it on Tuesdays too. Make it a special, maybe once a month on a Tuesday.
You just insist on trying to get on that round table.
No,
You trying to?
I want the round table to come to a little better show. Maybe we'll invite some of those guys over here to us.
I don't know because see they like to curse all the time. See, we got lucky with Sean. They didn't hit my channel yet.
We don't. That's one thing we don't do is curse. And maybe when we're out there, I may drop a couple off-color words, but that's off the air. There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, but I don't think they can hang with our 2-hour show.
Oh no!
No, I take that back because
Bentley will.
No, Brentley has to leave. Remember?
Oh,
He
that's
usually.
right, yeah.
Oh no, you don't because you don't know. It's usually it'll be me, Buddy, Sean, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be because the rest of them usually leave shortly after. They pull the midnight hour shifts.
And Solstice is on the West Coast, so he should be even on longer. But he bugs
But
out
he
too.
usually have to eat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you can eat while you're talking. You could be discreet about it and have something to eat.
No, because remember we told our friend not to do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So,
I just drink my pop here.
yep.
So I
with,
like that word.
So with that said, let's head on out, and we'll be. I don't know what to do with myself. That'll be 2 weeks in a row that we did our show under 2 hours.
No, wait a second. Can't do that, man. Can't do that. Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I can't enjoy everybody coming to the show tonight. You know, if you're watching the show and you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the Hitman and share our video. We're here to make DJing fun, and if you're starting out, you want to make sure you're not overly, how can you say, just engulfed with all this stuff. Watch, learn from YouTube videos, but you don't have to run out and buy every piece of equipment. You don't have to run out and buy every piece of light. Grow slow. That's all. Buy the bass boss speakers.
Yeah, I'm not going to read this last comment because I don't want to put that thought in your head. Because you do that all the time when it's time to get ready to hit on out. So let me go on before you do it.
No, I'm not going to 2 hours.
Yep.
I had a great time. Dwayne, thank you. Again, everybody give a big shout out to Dwayne because he's the one who's the mastermind behind all this. He does all the video production work on there. I'm just here to spit my guts out on my microphone. That's it.
And Buddy said we got 15 minutes and we can do it. So we might come close because we still got to talk about all the other channels. But if you haven't joined our Facebook group page, there's our long URL code address, or you can just go to Facebook and join by typing in CUEITUP DJ Podcast. You can join our public group or private group. You can follow Mikie Mike on Twitter at DJ Mikie Mike, Instagram at DJ Mikie Mike 45, and Facebook at DJ Mikie Mike. You can follow me at Hitman D-Dub on all of my socials. And then we have a group of DJs called the DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture and many voices. And lately, we haven't had any issues, I should say, really, where we had to really read the disclaimer and all that kind of stuff. Everybody's been pretty chilled, at least on the show. Not, I wouldn't say that in the chat, but on the show, they pretty chilled. But
We're queued up, man.
So I'd like to welcome you to our Primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live stream shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we got the knowledge, the stories, and inspiration to help you level up. On Mondays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, for every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing. And then on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversation that matter. It's the DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TBM Productions. And then if you missed the live broadcast on Twitch, you can watch the rebroadcast every Monday at 1 o'clock on Buddy's YouTube channel, and it's at TBM Productions DJ 1. And then on Wednesdays, it's the DJ Biz School. He has a whole bunch of old videos that you can still watch, because you can still get something from those videos, because there's a couple that I'm trying to update my websites, because he talks about branding, marketing, SEO, and web design strategies. So go check out the DJ Biz School. And when he's not doing the DJ Biz School, he's doing, let me make sure I got everything. Yep. He's got his Photobooth company going. So if you're looking to add some serious wow factor to your events, check out the beta booth from Photobooth Direct Club. It got upgraded lighting and wiring and mirror faceplates that guests love. And it even comes in a rolling luggage style case. So setup is a breeze. Best part, with our code CUEITUP, you save $350. That means you get it for just $1,645. Head to photoboothdirectclub.com and grab yours now.
Baby flying out the walls for Sean, man, if you said that.
Huh?
He'd be making a phone call to you, Dwayne.
And again, there's our discount code, CUEITUP, all one word, CUEITUP. And he broke it down. I need to take that video part of the video from 2 weeks ago and just make it a short out of that one part, because Sean did a good job of breaking it down and getting a return on your investment. Breaking it down, if you use the code, how much it will cost, and getting the iPad, and then getting all the software for it, and what to charge people, so you'll be able to get your return on your investment within a decent time, like a couple of months or a few gigs. Then on Thursdays, it's the CUEITUP DJ podcast with me, the Hitman D-Dub, and DJ Mikie Mike. And then we also have DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay, who host the Start to Spin DJ podcast. And their show is also at 9 o'clock on Thursdays.
I love them because they have the hats on usually 99.9% of the time. And when the boy doesn't have his hat on, I say, Pretty Boy.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a collab again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, maybe we can do a collab with all the shows. And then we have Kevin, DJ K, that was in the chat. And you can see him live on the KJ Chill Room with Matt and Eric. And they meet live every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on djntv.com/KJ Chill. And then they do the rebroadcast of it on the Disc Jockey News TV network YouTube channel. And then we have at _DJ Reese _ and he hosts the We Create the Vibes podcast, and he talks about doing corporate events. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to all of our channels. And our fade out message is, you can't mute anxiety, but you can turn its volume down. Meaning you always going to have that little feeling or itch. Even Michael Jordan had that little anxiety before a game. It wasn't that he was scared. It was that adrenaline. I said it slowly.
You got to get out there, and you go out there on the court like MJ, and he's shooting his hoops and stuff. But when it comes down to playing the game, it's like, ooh, the adrenaline rush goes up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's very could be overpowering. Definitely could be overpowering. But we're getting close to that 2-hour mark, so we got 11 minutes to go. So,
yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for joining our show. Let's give it up for Dwayne. Again, he does all of the video work behind the scenes. I can't thank him enough. He is one heck of a friend and one heck of a DJ.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Dwayne.
And thanks for everyone for coming, because again, if you had asked me back in January would I have done a podcast, I was like, no, because I can't see myself talking. Just like Cleveland Terry, you have like Cleveland Terry, Nick Spinelli had a show, you had
Aaron,
DJ Brooke, and you had Brian. All of them, they can sit and talk. I can't sit and just talk by myself. I need someone to talk to, so I'm glad to have Mike to come on the show and
thank you.
And keep me company, and I'm glad to have you all in the chat so we can bounce. I can do it better when we're having a conversation as opposed to me talking to myself, because I can't see myself talking and wanting to listen to it. But DJ Night Owl says the best way to listen to our show is to listen to it at twice the speed. And I started listening to our show twice the speed. I was like, okay, I can consume our content better. And it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. So you don't hear all those, what?
There's a video that Brian S. Red did, and he used to talk about the and ahs and and ah. He said, record yourself, play it back, and just keep doing that, keep doing it, and eventually you'll get out of that and ah and ah and and there's a bunch of other little tics people come up with too. So if you want to get on YouTube and you're starting to create videos and you notice you're saying and ah, don't publish them. Just watch them over and over, and then eventually you're gonna get out of that and ah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so nice to have everybody here, because they always say 2 heads are better than one, but look at all the people we have in the chat. So it's not 2 heads. We got, I don't know how many heads in the chat, plus us 2. We're bouncing ideas off everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we learn. That's how we get better. Just so grateful to all the DJs that are here. It's a pleasure, because today's world is so crazy, and it's not just DJs, it's photographers, everybody. One's bidding this price, one's bidding that price. Everybody's trying to beat each other out, and they want to beat each other up, but the only thing they're doing is they're dropping the prices. What are they doing? They're only beating themselves. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's all stay together and keep the price range where everybody's comfortable with, and your clients are comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I know each market's a different area. Where I'm at, where Buddy's at, where you're at, Dwayne, where Will's at. Will, unfortunately, he works for a multi-op, and I feel sorry for him. Lacrosse, you're out there in Arizona. No, it's California.
And don't encourage him, you all.
No, I'm done.
All right. And so the takeaways is preparation. That's the main thing. If you prepare and plan, a lot of those stress that you will feel goes away. Perfection isn't a goal. It's the connection that you have with your clients. And again, every DJ feels some kind of way. Just don't let it consume you, because then if it consumes you, then that'll come across to your guests. And then LaRucka said something that was real important, and that's what I had to do for this gig that I did at the brewery in Columbus. He says, what I do to calm my nerves is I pray and let God take control, and that makes me feel safe and ready. And that's what I had to do leading up to that event. It was a last minute event, and that was one of the first events that also charged the price, near the price that I want to charge. And I looked at it as a big, it was bigger than my normal events, because it was actually at a big fancy place. So I was like real nervous. I know I had asked some people for some advice, but then it got to the point I was listening to them talk, and it didn't help me. It made me more stressed, because I'm trying to live out their vision. But the main thing I had to end up doing was taking time, and I went from, I had 4 weeks between the time I met with the couple and the wedding. I did a daily devotional. I created a devotional for myself, read scripture, and I found that helped me out a lot, because again, the main thing, the questions that they want me to think about was my why, to think more of the why and not the how, and stressing out on all that. Because if a client reaches out to you, especially after you gave your website information and all that, and then they went to it, because on there it has my event questionnaire, and they filled it out. If they went to your website and they called you specifically, then that right there should tell you that client really wants you to do their event. So therefore, that should ease some of your anxiety. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out what exactly do they want from you, because they already told you indirectly that you're their guy. It's just a matter of making sure we all come together and know what exactly we want and how we're going to do it. So that's how I can ease my anxiety.
You know what, Dwayne? I pray for them, and like, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Thank you for coming to the show. And we finished under 2 hours.
Yep.
A great speech there at the end, Dwayne.
Yep. And then I'll make sure I got everything. I did the QR, did the thing. All right. Yeah. So again, make sure you check out all of our shows. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And as always, go out there and crush those gigs. And join us next week. And then there was a couple of people asking, I guess they want to join the after party. So I got you, Will, and Buddy, Kevin, if y'all want to join. Diego, if you want to join, I can send you a link. It doesn't.
You know what they're doing, Dwayne?
Huh?
They're keeping you on here till 11 o'clock. Send them the link. Let's get go.
All right. All right, see you. And I almost forgot. Remember, before it's time to spin, you got to first cue it up. All right, take care and see y'all next week.
Peace.
I'ma rise like the sun while the world still sleeps. Scouring the sights looking for new leads. Marathon gigs with no in between. Your worth is from a rear view they seen. They want to party, but I'm battling fatigue, chasing passion while my mental is still out on leave. It's an everyday hustle, so respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Cue up the pressure. Dreams in the booth where the DJs dwell. Clubbing is a struggle like it's all I've got. Set it up, break it down, travel to the next spot. Ambitions, the engine stay sharp like a tool. Revving through my gigs, power drinks is fuel. It's an everyday hustle, we respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Pressure, cue up the pressure. The pressure, pressure, cue up the pressure. Pressure, pressure, cue up the pressure. The pressure. Cue up the pressure.